Well, hello. Welcome to our new faculty training class here at Moody. And maybe you've heard me say that a couple times as you've looked at various things that I've put out. But again, I wanted to welcome you to the class. And I wanted just to give you a chance to see me face to face as we get started here so you can kind of hear from me a little bit about myself and find out a little bit more about kind of some of my background and how that all comes into play with this course. And I know that if you worked at it, you probably could find out more about me if you'd go and Google me or go look me up on Facebook or LinkedIn or other places. But I thought maybe you'd like to hear it just from me, face to face here, a little bit like this. So I want to encourage you as you get started in the course over the next couple of days to go ahead and look around the course. I'm making a few changes on the end few weeks of the class, so there'll be a few adjustments, but go ahead and look around and we'll be good to go as we move into the class over the next 2 months. I really am looking forward to spending that time with you and getting to know you better and finding out a little bit more about the journey that God's brought you on to bring you to this place in time. I want to just again let you know, for me, my background is that I graduated from Moody with my bachelor's degree in Christian education, and then I also got my master's in Christian ed from Dallas Seminary, and I am currently working on my doctorate in education from Illinois State University here in Normal, Illinois. I live about halfway in between Chicago and St. Louis, about 150 miles south of the Chicago campus, and I'm enjoying my studies there at the university. A little different than taking classes from Moody in Dallas, but that's been very good to stretch me as well. A little bit about some of my relationships and my family. My wife and I will have been married 25 years here in just a few weeks. During this course, we'll hit that 25-year mark, and we were high school sweethearts and dated while we were at Moody and then got married right after I graduated. And so we have been hanging out together for a long time. We have several kids, and it's been a real joy to see the way that God works in and through each one of those. Our oldest son, Caleb, graduated from Moody's Chicago campus a year ago, and he got married last fall to Karina, who is a MK from Spain. And Caleb's on staff at our church, working with outreach and with young adults, and Karina is a foster care, a caseworker for kids with special needs. And then our daughter Hannah also got married last summer. She and Caleb got married 5 weeks apart, so it was a little bit of a crazy summer for us. But she and her then boyfriend had gone out to Moody Spokane for a year where he was working in the aviation program. They came back home, got married, spent a year here at home, did a missionary internship here with our church, and they will be leaving here in just about 3 or 4 weeks. So again, in the middle of our class, they will be on their way back out to Moody Spokane to finish their training in preparation for going to serve the Lord overseas. Our next son, Joseph, is just returning. He just returned last week from his introduction and initial training with the Army. He's in the Army Reserves, and he's returned home working here at a local job as well as being in the reserves, and then is attending a local junior college as well as taking classes with Moody Distance as well. And our next son will graduate from high school this coming weekend. So while you're watching this, depending on when you click in, he either is or just has graduated from high school. And he also is taking classes at Moody Distance Learning and classes here at the local junior college. His plan is to become a missionary techno geek, and he's had several neat opportunities to be able to use his skills and gifts to be able to help multiply the ministry of people literally around the globe, and he's really excited about that. Sarah is in high school, and she hopes to be a deaf educator, deaf interpreter, and work in that field. And then those are our 5 biological kids. Then we have 6 adopted kids. Yes, that's 11. That's kind of crazy, I know, but that's who they are. And Elizabeth is in junior high, and she's had kind of a rough year here with a lot of mental health issues, and seems to be kind of in between right now, but that's been a whole new learning curve for us. Then we have Benjamin and Aaron, and they're in grade school, and they are biological brothers from here close to this area, and they've had a decent year and are pretty slow in their progress, and yet have been able to see some neat progress in both of their lives in the last 2 years that they've been with us. They're turning 9 and 7 here in July, and they've just been with us a couple of years now. And then there's Samuel, Noah, and Titus, and they are they'll be turning 5, 3, and 1, but they're right now like 5, 4, 3, and 1. So they're a little close together, and they're biological half brothers, and they continue to struggle with the results of their mother's cocaine addiction. And so we have learned a lot about dealing with kids with special needs and serving kind of the least of these among us. But through all of that, God has been incredibly faithful to help us get a team of wonderful Christian therapists and physicians who have been able to help us through much of that. Our church has been a help too. I think it's taken them a little while for us to first teach them what it's all about to deal with our kids, but then for them to jump in and to be willing to help us through all of that. And so we've just seen God's faithfulness through all of that as we have worked at raising these kids and rescuing them from a life that would have certainly been much different than what it is. As talking about my ministerial background, I spent about 15 years as a youth pastor, Christian ed pastor around the Midwest after graduating from seminary, and then spent 5 years on staff with Young Life, and then spent 5 years working as a junior high school counselor at a school for kids with severe emotional behavioral disabilities. Was not a career choice I was thinking about, but we look back and say, man, God knew what he was doing, because that really helped prepare us for the work with our younger kids. And then after that, I left that position a year ago to work on my doctorate full time and to spend some more time with the work I was doing here with Moody, and to be able to help my wife out more with some of the struggles that we were having with our kids in particular at that point. And now, just this past week, I have moved up to taking a full-time position with Moody, and I am now the Assistant Director of Instructional Quality, and I am really looking forward to seeing how that will all work out as I'm able to help work with more professors and to help them improve the quality of what we're doing for our students literally around the world. I've also had the chance, I served at a rural church here in our local area for about 18 months as an interim pastor over the last couple of years, and was able to do some neat work there. And we're very involved with our church, and at our church we work with the evangelism ministry and a lot with the orphan care ministry. Karen and I started a young adult Sunday school, adult Bible fellowship class, and taught that for a number of years. And I also, if you look in the background, I do have a 20-month-old little guy walking around. So he must have escaped here late at night. Oh, playing with a hammer. That's the way my life goes. So just keeping it real here, that it's never a dull moment around my house. Some of the fun things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy playing my bass guitar in the worship team. I enjoy playing golf. Haven't had a lot of chance to do that the last couple of years between jobs and kids and education and those kinds of things. But I do enjoy that. And we have minor league hockey and baseball here in town, and we do a little bit of that. As a kid, I lived in Dallas, so my dad was at seminary when the Texas Rangers came to town, and so I also enjoy watching the Rangers play baseball. Most of the time in my life, that's not been a very fun process. Last year was great up until the last 2 weeks, where they decided that they were going to be like the Chicago Cubs and just kind of bail on the season. But other than that, I do enjoy that. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about who I am, and I hope that this gives you a little bit more of a perspective of who I am, and I'm looking forward to, again, hearing more about you and finding out about you in your introductions as well, which don't have to be a video. They can just be typed in that response in the introduction section. So have a great week. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better.